very short video on the merits and demerits of the arithmetic mean. The merits of the arithmetic mean, it is easy to study, almost the same as the merits of the measures of central tendency that I have uploaded. So the first one, it is rigidly defined well. It has a proper formula which can be used. So no matter who calculates the arithmetic mean, as long as you are not making silly mistakes, you will all get the same value. Okay, rigidly defined and proper formula that is given, so no confusion. In fact, another merit is that, related merit is that there are different forms of the formula given. So you can use either the direct method. If you find that you do not have a calculator and that the numbers are really big, you can use the shortcut method and so on. So that's another merit of the arithmetic mean. It is based on all items because it is summation x bar is summation x divided by the total number of observation, where I is going from 1 to n. So all the observations are being taken into consideration. So it is based on all items. That's correct. It allows for algebraic manipulation, right? And that we had said was a desirable property. So that property is also satisfied. That's where I said if you have two different groups and you know their arithmetic means, you can combine them using this formula, n1 plus n2, and this can be generalized to different, say, k groups of observations. The next is that it does have sampling stability. It has sampling stability, which is again one of the desirable properties that we discussed earlier. Okay. Another merit that they say is that it is easy to calculate and it is very simple to understand. We have lots of practical uses. Easy to use, calculate and understand, right? It has lots of practical use. Okay, they're just right. Widely used, we discussed this earlier, widely used average concepts or arithmetic mean concepts can be the price level of the country, the consumer price index, the WPI. In fact, the consumer price index is something called the weighted average. Okay, I might as well cover this here. 1 second. Okay, first let me cover the demerits. What are the demerits of the arithmetic mean? These are much more important. Firstly, they are unduly affected by extreme values. Because it is based on all the values in the set, they will also be affected by the extreme values that are there, even if these extreme values are just 1 or 2 in number. So that is a demerit of the arithmetic mean. The second is, if you have open-ended data, you cannot basically calculate the arithmetic mean. What do I mean by open-ended data? You saw how we calculated mean for classified data that has been put into class intervals. So you have 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and you had the corresponding frequency f that is given. And for x, what you choose is the class midpoint, right? But if you have another class before 20 to 30 as less than 20 or something like more than 50 over here, in both of these categories it would be difficult to find out the class midpoint. And if you can't get the class midpoint, that is the x value, you cannot really calculate the arithmetic mean properly. So open-ended data of this sort, if you have a class interval saying less than a certain number, or on the upper end more than a certain number, these two class intervals are not of a fixed size. So when you have such data, you cannot calculate the arithmetic mean for this frequency table. That is another demerit. Yet another demerit is that it cannot be calculated graphically. You cannot calculate it graphically, whereas certain other measures of central tendency such as the median or the mode can be found graphically. And finally, you cannot find the arithmetic mean of qualities. For example, qualitative variable that you can think about, gender. So you have a class of 57 students in BA Economics 3rd semester. You list down whether they are male or female for each of these 57 students. You cannot find an average quantity of gender or the kind of color of dress they are wearing, or the color of car that they own, or you cannot find the average of or the arithmetic mean of the brand of mobile phone that you're using, right? So the brand of the phone that you have bought, that each of these 57 students have with them, it is not a quantitative variable, it is a qualitative variable. It describes a certain characteristic which cannot be measured with numbers as such. So such qualitative variables you cannot find the arithmetic mean. You will need to use certain other measures of central tendency. Most specifically, if you had to find which brand of phone is mostly used by the class, you would actually try to find the mode. Okay, so you will list down the different brands and you would put tally marks according to which brand each student has, and whichever brand has the most number of tally marks or the highest frequency, that would be called the modal value or the model brand, MODAL, model brand. Okay, so that is another demerit of the arithmetic mean. Now I'll just take 2 minutes to also discuss something called weighted means or the weighted arithmetic mean. Sometimes you have data x1, x2 observations going on till xn, and these items are associated with certain weights. W1 associated with x1, W2 associated with x2, and similarly Wn. In such a situation, you can find something called the weighted arithmetic mean. The formula for that would be W1 x1 plus W2 x2, etc. Wn xn whole divided by the total weight, that is W1 plus W2 Wn. If I use shorthand, I would write this as summation of Wx divided by summation W. Right? Remember, if I am not given a superscript and subscript to this summation sign, it means that I is going from 1 to n. That is understood, which is why to reduce my work and effort, I am just writing the summation sign. Even in the book, guidebook, you can just see the summation sign. But that means, if nothing else is specified, that means I will go from 1 to the total number of observations, to the last of the total number of observations, that is n. Okay. Now, the reason I am discussing the weighted average arithmetic mean is because, I'm so sorry. Is because in economics, in the economy, we use certain indices, the wholesale price index, the consumer price index. We have something called the index of industrial production. Okay, all of these are weighted arithmetic means. So in the wholesale price index, you have a basket of goods which are generally used as raw materials and so on by the industry, by the various sectors, and there's a weight associated to each of these goods depending on how much quantities of it is used on a general basis, on an average basis. So when you're trying to take the average price level, you will not just take the price of each good into consideration, but also the weight associated with it. What is the importance of that particular good in the entire wholesale basket, or in this case, in the entire consumer basket, right? A practical example of weighted average is your Calcutta University has a credit based grade point average. So what that means is while your core papers are associated with 4 credits, your complementary papers used in each semester used to be associated with 2 credits each. So these credits would be the weight associated to the marks that you get in your core paper and in your complementary papers. You can just have a look. So I just discussed it so that you know an example. Your credit based grade point average that you will be calculating at the end of your 6th sem uses the weighted average or the weighted arithmetic mean method. Okay. That's it for arithmetic mean. In the next lecture we will deal with median.